The confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 2,331, with 7 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 20 additional cases were reported with no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Trutanich. It's Tuesday, August 24th. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave the green light to grant full approval of Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine on Monday. This could now open the way for universities, companies, and local governments to make vaccinations mandatory, as well as potentially boosting public confidence in the shots. Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine is currently available under emergency use authorization for those 12 to 15 years old, and for a third dose for certain immunocompromised individuals. So far, more than 200 million Pfizer doses have been administered in the U.S. under emergency provisions, and hundreds of millions more worldwide since its release in December. The FDA cited months of real-world evidence and proof that serious side effects are extremely rare from the vaccine. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla called the FDA's action an important milestone that will unlock some of the more skeptical minds. In the process of getting approval, a 360,000-page application was required, along with rigorous inspections. The formula was jointly developed with Germany's BioNTech and will be marketed under the brand name Comirnaty. Moderna has also applied to the FDA for full approval of its vaccine. Johnson & Johnson says they hope to do so later this year. More companies are announcing requirements to get vaccinated against COVID-19 now that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave the full approval of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. CVS Health is the latest to join U.S. companies that will require employees to get vaccinated. Nurses and other employees who interact with patients, as well as all corporate staff, must be vaccinated by October 31st. It said pharmacists have until November 30th to get their shots. New hires in the same roles as of September 15th must also have had their first COVID-19 vaccine prior to their first day of employment. CVS Health is headquartered in Rhode Island and says its workforce of some 300,000 people include more than 40,000 physicians, pharmacists, nurses, and nurse practitioners. So far, CVS Health has administered more than 30 million COVID-19 vaccines across the country. U.S. energy companies are moving to require that employees receive COVID-19 vaccinations as infections across the U.S. continue to rise. The second largest U.S. oil producer, Chevron, is now mandating vaccines for workers traveling internationally on U.S. flagged ships and those working offshore in the Gulf of Mexico by November 1st. Likewise, Hess Corporation, which has 7 active offshore oil and gas platforms in the Gulf, are also requiring workers to get the vaccine by the same deadline. Refiner Valero Energy Corp announced they will now require certain field workers and new employees to get inoculated, and Pioneer Natural Resources also announced they would require newly hired employees to be fully vaccinated before their first day of work. Data shows that energy and construction workers have some of the lowest vaccine rates. As the states across the country offered financial incentives to get the COVID-19 vaccine, one resident in Michigan got more than just a "I got vaccinated" sticker. Christine Duvall, a resident of Bloomfield Township, is now the recipient of a $2 million reward for getting the COVID-19 vaccine. The grand prize winner said she and her family would use the money toward helping pay for her children's education, remodeling her home, and donating money to mental health services in her community. Much like the sweepstake in California, the Michigan Shot to Win sweepstakes ran throughout the month of July and included a $2 million grand prize, which Duvall won, a $1 million prize, and daily drawings of $50,000 for adults who got at least one shot. In Michigan, at least 65% of residents 16 and older have received at least one dose of the vaccine. Well, as more businesses, employers, and events begin requiring proof of COVID-19 vaccination, the state is offering some guidance on what forms of proof will be acceptable. According to the California Department of Public Health, there are several ways you can show that you've been inoculated. You can carry the white vaccination card received when getting your vaccine, or carry a photocopy of the vaccine card or even a photo of the vaccine card on your phone or electronic device. Documentations from a healthcare provider or a digital record that includes a QR code that, when scanned by a smart health card reader, displays your birth date, vaccine dates, and vaccine type are also valid forms. Documents that confirm vaccination from contracted employers who follow these vaccination records guidelines and standards could also be considered valid proof, along with the yellow card from the World Health Organization. All vaccination data in the state is entered into California's Immunization Information System, and people can request a copy of their record by phone, email, or through an online form on the state's website. The Immunization Registry's website says it's seen a high volume of calls and emails recently, so the online form may be the fastest option. Once you fill out the form, you can choose whether to have the record emailed or texted. Now, those who got vaccinated at a hospital or doctor's office can request copies of their records directly from the healthcare provider. For those who got vaccinated in Los Angeles County, HealthVana has been texting people links to download digital copies of their COVID-19 vaccine records to their digital wallets. The World Health Organization is calling for a 2-month moratorium on COVID-19 booster shots in an effort to reduce global vaccine inequalities. WHO Director General Tedros Ghebreyesus told reporters that he was disappointed with the extent of vaccine donations worldwide, with many countries still struggling to provide first and second doses, while wealthier nations like the U.S., Israel, Hungary, and others in Europe maintain a growing vaccine supply. Ghebreyesus called on countries offering third vaccine doses to share what may be used for boosters with other countries so they can increase their first and second dose vaccination coverage. Ghebreyesus also said that of the 4.8 billion vaccine doses delivered to date globally, 75% have gone to only 10 countries, while vaccine coverage in Africa is at less than 2%. He went on to say vaccine inequities also increase the risk of more contagious variants emerging. General Motors is expanding its recent recall of their Chevrolet Bolt EVs due to potential fire risk. The recent expansion is expected to cost the automaker an additional $1 billion, bringing the total to $1.8 billion to replace potentially defective battery modules in the vehicles. GM says close to 73,000 cars in the U.S. and Canada are being added to the recall, which includes 2019 to 2022 year models. The expanded recall now includes all Bolt EV models that were ever produced. GM says it's working on reimbursement commitments from EV battery supplier LG Energy Solutions, which produced the defective parts in South Korea and Michigan. Parts from the U.S. plant were previously not involved in the recall. GM officials say they will notify customers when replacement parts are ready, and in the meantime, asking owners to avoid depleting their battery below 70 miles of remaining range, and out of abundance of caution, to not park their cars indoors or charge them unattended overnight. The Torrance Police Department is investigating the theft of more than 300 recall election ballots that were found in a man's car parked in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven in Torrance. Officers were called to the convenience store located near Emerald Street and Hawthorne Boulevard around 10:45 p.m. on Monday, August 16th, where a man was reportedly sleeping in the car in the parking lot. Officers located the man in the vehicle and also found a loaded gun, unspecified narcotics, and driver's licenses and credit cards that belonged to other people, along with a box of mail in the back seat, which had unopened and unmarked ballots. This case is currently being investigated by Torrance Police Department's Special Investigations Division in partnership with the U.S. Postal Service and the LA County District Attorney Public Integrity Unit. TPD is asking the public to report any suspicious activity, and if you see something, say something. If anyone has information regarding this case, call 310-328-3456. Torrance City Council members will head back into the chambers tonight, opening the doors to the public once again. On the agenda tonight, items include a resolution honoring Tony Mulliken of the Torrance Public Works Department upon his retirement from the city after 36 years of service. Then the Community Services Department will also recommend that the City Council appoint 18 new members to the 2021 to 2022 City of Torrance Youth Council. And the city manager and staff will offer updates on the city's efforts regarding homelessness in the community. These items and much more will be discussed tonight and can be seen here on our channel, online, and on the city's Facebook and YouTube platforms. You can also find the full agenda at torranceca.gov. The meeting begins at its new time, which starts at 6:30 p.m. It may officially be summer for a few weeks longer, but one popular coffee chain is bringing back a fall favorite ahead of its season, and I don't think anyone will be complaining. The wait is finally over as fans can now order a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks beginning today, along with a number of other autumn signature treats like pumpkin cream cold brew, pumpkin cream cheese muffins, and pumpkin scones. Starbucks is also releasing pumpkin spice flavored ground, packaged, and ready-to-drink products at grocery stores, as well as Starbucks pumpkin spice flavored non-dairy creamer and cold brew concentrate. The pumpkin spice latte, or PSL, as it's often referred by customers, has been a popular item on the Starbucks menu for 18 years now and has sold more than 300 million PSLs since the drink was introduced in 2003. Now, Starbucks isn't the only coffee chain offering this fall favorite. Dunkin' already made its fall debut of seasonal favorites last week on August 18th, adding a pumpkin cream cold brew as well as pumpkin-flavored coffee, donuts, and muffins. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Well, it's the last week to catch the Torrance Art Museum's unique art exhibit called Ultra. More than 20 artworks from some of the region's most exciting contemporary artists were installed at various locations throughout the city and has been on display since July 17th and runs until this Saturday, August 28th. City Cable's own Colleen Farrell got an inside look at opening night of the exhibit. You can catch it on weekends in Torrance right here on City Cable and on our YouTube channel. You can also learn more about Ultra the exhibit at torranceartmuseum.com. What a great way to show support for the arts in the Torrance community, one artist and one exhibit at a time. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Leslie Robbins fills in for Christine Lee. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.